2 regular club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart.
The first U.S. presidential election happened last night.
And you have to be able to hit the ball a long way. And I do it.
Leaving us with more questions than answers.
He doesn't do it. He can't hit a ball 50 yards.
Before we get to that, breaking news. Van Eck has filed for a spot Solana ETF.
The asset manager filed an S1 for what would be the first Solana ETF in the US.
Van Eck filing for a spot Solana ETF is huge. Here they explain exactly why Van Eck did this.
In a post on X this morning, Matthew Siegel, head of digital assets research at Van Eck, explained why the firm filed for a spot Solana ETF, saying that the Ethereum alternative stands out as a, quote, powerful and accessible blockchain software that enables greater transaction volume with minimal fees and employs a, quote, advanced security mechanism that combines proof of history and proof of stake. He also outlines some reasons why the firm believes Solana's SOL token is a commodity and not a security. He pointed to its decentralized nature, high utility, and economic feasibility, saying they align with the characteristics of other established digital commodities.
And less than 24 hours after Van Eck's filing, Cathie Wood's ARK Invest has filed for a spot Solana ETF. Altcoin Daily subscribers already saw this coming. You remember when we showed you this.
So Bitcoin and Ether, anything beyond that?
Well, you know, there are infrastructure players. Solana is doing a really good job. I mean, if you look at Ether was faster and cheaper than Bitcoin in the day. That's how we got Ether. Solana is even faster and cost-effective than Ether.
Solana seems to be getting a wave of institutional support. Cathie Wood explains here.
We do think that smart contracts are going to grow in importance as decentralized finance continues to develop momentum, and both of those are smart contract networks. Each of them has benefits and some trade-offs, but we think both are winners. And to have watched Solana, to watch the developers stick with Solana speaks volumes to us. I always say follow the developers, and they certainly stuck with Solana, and they're also scaling in terms of Ethereum as well. So we think those are two powerful networks in the decentralized finance space. And we also think that this notion of DeFi, decentralized finance, that if people just start looking at it and thinking about it as simply the internet financial system. The internet in the early days was never conceived as hosting commerce or financial services. And so developers back then didn't build in that capability. All that's happening now with Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana is developers are building in native currencies and much more streamlined, fewer intermediaries, streamlined ways of dealing in the financial system. Much more efficient, much more productive, just like the internet itself.
Now, I know a lot of you know-it-alls in the comments are going, Solana doesn't have a futures ETF, so why would they allow a spot ETF? We needed the futures ETFs to get the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs approved. Solana does not have a futures ETF. I would say to that, number one, that a Solana futures ETF could come immediately like that, sooner rather than later, and all of a sudden it could be there, because we've just seen this with Link. Coinbase Derivatives just filed with the CFTC to list US regulated futures contracts for Link. Solana could easily be next. And number two, although it would be nice, Solana does not technically need a futures ETF to get a spot ETF. Matthew Siegel of Van Eck reveals this on Scott Melker's podcast. Listen to this.
Bitcoin and Ethereum have markets of meaningful size. They're traded on CME futures. To my understanding, those are big hurdles. We don't have Solana CME futures. So what's the mechanic for something like a Solana ETF to be approved at this point?
If you recall, in order to satisfy the regulated market of significant size, folks have been using the CME futures market, but there was also talk of surveillance sharing agreements between the relevant crypto exchanges and the listing exchange, in this case, Chicago Board of Exchange or NASDAQ. And Coinbase negotiated and signed those deals before the Bitcoin spot ETF came to market, but they were not put into effect. In the end, they used the futures market. if the exchanges are willing to sign those similar surveillance sharing agreements for, say, Solana, then perhaps that might be the market. So we'll see. I think when you read the language in the Ethereum 19b4s about the decentralization characteristics, about what makes Ethereum a commodity, you can basically substitute Solana for Ethereum in every sentence there, and the truth still holds. So there are also examples of commodity-based ETFs that do not have a futures market. So there may be a chance. Like I said, it might surprise you.
Probably the most bullish regulatory catalyst for the crypto industry, a Solana ETF, a spot ETF, would be a pro-crypto president. Now, last night, the US saw the first presidential election. Bitcoin was not brought up. Crypto was not brought up. A lot of issues were not brought up. It was a complete shit show, in fact, getting moments like this.
I just won 2 club championships, not even senior, 2 regular club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way. And I do it. He doesn't do it. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He challenged me to a golf match. He can't hit a ball 50 yards.
Look, I'd be happy to have a driving contest with him. I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. But by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf with you if you carry your own bag. Think you can do it?
That's the biggest lie. He's a 6 handicap of all.
I was an 8 handicap.
Yeah.
8.
Never.
But I have, how many?
I've seen you swing. I know you swing.
Okay, let's
not act like children.
President Trump, we're going to turn.
Let's not act like children.
Whoever wants to become president better develop a pro-crypto strategy. And thus far, that seems to be Donald Trump. Not that Biden couldn't also become pro-crypto. I hope he does. Crypto is not a partisan issue. Joe Biden and his administration will be attending a Bitcoin and crypto roundtable in DC in July. I hope he changes his mind. I was on the set filming Killer Whale's 2nd season this past week. We're judges and producers, and I was talking to Scaramucci. Scaramucci will actually be at this with Mark Cuban and many others, and they hope to help Joe Biden pivot more towards crypto. But at this point in time, Donald Trump is the pro-crypto candidate. Jesse Powell, the founder of Kraken, just donated $1 million in Ethereum to Donald Trump. He says, for too long, the crypto industry has been under attack by Elizabeth Warren and Gary Gensler and others, despite overwhelming bipartisan congressional efforts to put clear rules in place. The Biden White House has stood by and allowed a campaign of unchecked regulation by enforcement. This approach is diminishing U.S. competitiveness as other major economies around the world advance clear rules to regulate digital assets. So $1 million in Ethereum to Donald Trump is big. I wonder if he'll have to give it back, though, because the Winklevoss just donated $1 million in Bitcoin each to Trump, and it was a little bit over campaign donation limits, and they did get refunded by the Trump administration. I have no idea if they're going to lower their donations to something that is regulatory appropriate. But either way, one thing is clear. Donald Trump is signaling to the crypto industry that he is pro-crypto industry. It looks like he's going to be a speaker at Bitcoin Nashville this month, or next month, in fact. Donald Trump is in talks, and now I hear he will speak at Bitcoin Nashville conference July 25th through 27th, will be on the main stage as well. Guys, use Altcoin Daily, 10% off Bitcoin Nashville, linked below. This would be big if he did. And Bitcoin and crypto as an issue is only going to get more popular. Just in, over 1 million people now hold 1 Bitcoin. Data shows that over 1 million unique addresses are now holding more than 1 Bitcoin, and obviously millions and millions of people own 0.1 Bitcoin and 0.01 Bitcoin. And hundreds of millions of people own crypto. Guys, subscribe to the channel. Bitcoin is primed to be over 80K any minute now. Well, maybe not any minute. It's probably going to happen in July. And if not July, August. And if not August, September. And if not September, October. And you say, oh, well, that's a 4-month stretch. Oh, you're always saying last chance, last chance. Well, guess what? At certain points, it will be your last chance. Just like $20,000 Bitcoin is now off the table. Just like $30,000 Bitcoin is now off the table. I would think $40,000 Bitcoin's off the table, but maybe 50,000, maybe you can get it. 60,000, we're here. But at a certain point, it will be your last chance. Hey guys, make sure you check out our interview with Waka Flocka. We talk about celebrity meme coins. This is a juicy interview. And maybe we can get Jason Derulo on the channel to talk about his meme coin. Guys, the cryptocurrency market is really heating up. Subscribe to the channel, join the team. See you tomorrow.